Okay, well, since we've... got fucking... Hold on. There we go. The USB wasn't fully plugged in. That's kind of nice every now and then. It gives us a glimpse of what it would look like without a sweet camera. And now we can appreciate a really nice camera better. Now that we've set the baseline for how we're feeling today, yeah, I'm tired. So I'm looking forward to a little movement. I know it will make me feel better. You know, tired not in the sense of I shouldn't be moving. Tired in that I think this will energize me and certainly get me in touch with my body in a way that will make me feel less disconnected because I'm so tired. You know, that's one of the benefits of movement. I feel disconnected when I'm tired. I lose my coordination. I stumble. I drop things, you know. So this will help us reconnect. The mind and body connection. So we have light resistance on now, just pedaling easily, sitting up nice and tall. Just let our arms hang down to the side and feel that pull in the shoulders and the neck muscles. As the weight of our arms just pulls down with gravity. And let's consciously stack our spine. Feel the neck and the spine align. Carried through the spine into the sit bones on the saddle. Maybe just take a couple of deep breaths. Feel your belly expand as you do it. Putting our hands onto the handlebars now. Just rest your hands on the bars. No grasping of the handlebars. Fingers just wiggling. Shoulders stay away from the ears. Elbows slightly bent. Let's go ahead and accelerate our legs up. There's something weird happening with the music right now. I'll tend to it in a moment. Yeah. Fix itself. So we're at about 90 RPM now with really light resistance. Just feeling for the suppleness in our legs. Just notice how your legs feel now, and as they warm up, notice how they start to become more smooth and supple. And as I'm doing this kind of light 90 RPM pedaling and warm up, I often pay attention to my hips and try to make sure that they're just staying nice and set on the saddle. Feeling some motion in my hip bones, which I am. All right. We're at 90 RPM or so. Still have very light resistance on. Let's speed our legs up. Keeping the resistance really light. Let's bring our leg speed up to maybe 100 or so. It won't feel that great right now because our legs aren't fully warmed up. the hips stay very stable on the saddle. There's no bouncing. And now let's slow our legs back down to around 90 RPM. Still light resistance. You can sit up again if you want. Remember, when we sit up like this, we are practicing this decoupling of the lower body and the upper body. We're practicing it. We're noticing it. And then we can use that knowledge later when we're doing hard efforts. And we can always tune into that feeling. That's just one of the many, many that we can tune into. Just need to turn up the volume a little bit. I think we needed this song today. Find this rhythm with your legs. You can watch mine if you need to. Once you have the rhythm, let's reach down and add some resistance now. Don't make it feel like a hill. But get some work into the muscles. Notice how you're needing to use your calves and hamstrings to scrape off through the bottom of the pedal stroke now. Just bring a little more work into the muscles. That's all we're trying to do right now. Since we've added some resistance, it should be the case that when we accelerate our legs up to 90 RPM, which we're going to do in a second, then this will be harder than before. We've added resistance. So if that sounds super scary to you now with the resistance you have, take some out. 90 RPM should sound doable, just harder than before. In 3, 2, 1. Come up to 90 RPM again. Just breathing, stitching together the full circle of the pedal stroke. In 3, 2, 1. Reduce your resistance now and just slow your legs again. And sit up nice and tall like I am. And let's notice how our legs feel right now. Compared to the beginning, they should be warmer. Maybe just a little tired from that last part. Your heart rate and your breathing picked up a little bit too. Mine are. I can feel it. Perfect. Align your legs again to this rhythm using your light resistance. We're going to dig a little deeper now. Maybe set your hands to the middle like mine are. We're going to get into a simulated climb, not a steep one. So let's just think of it as an uphill, not a climb. In 3, 2, 1. add in uphill feeling at this rhythm. Might be a good time for you to just relax. Close your eyes, let your shoulders come away from the ears. Just notice your thoughts. If you're wandering, come back to my voice, come back to the rhythm you're pedaling, the music. Time and time again. For the last half of this song, the second half, let's add in resistance now that feels like a hill climb. Quite challenging. As if you're struggling to get your way up now a pretty steep hill. Let's get those hips engaged. Pushing over the top. Bring your resistance down to light. Check your breathing right now. Put a number on it, 1 to 10 on a scale of completely not out of breath to can hardly speak a word. I'm about 5 to 6. If we'd stayed longer doing that, it would have slowly come up to 7 or 8. If we'd stayed doing that even longer, it would have come up to 8 or 9. While we're sitting up tall like this, and your light resistance, align your legs to this rhythm right here. Now we're going to do a very steep section, but it's very short. So I want you to feel free to add resistance that really challenges you, that makes you wonder how long you could do it. Extremely heavy resistance. You're struggling to hold this rhythm in the seated position. And then we'll add even more and stand up onto it. But again, very short. So give yourself this opportunity. In 3, 2, 1, add it in. I am now struggling to hold this rhythm. I can do it. But you see my hips now. You see my upper body responding to the torque from the hips. Wonderful time now to just relax your belly. I just had the thought for myself about extending my pedal stroke further through the bottom. Of course, you can't do that physically, but you can think your way through that. And that engages this muscle right here, the one out here by the knee, as you step through the bottom part of it. So that's what I was thinking. You ready to stand? In 3, 2, and 1. Crank your resistance now. Stand into this. Keep your chest nice and tall. Hands are light on the bars. Now come back to seated climbing, adjust your resistance so you can hold the rhythm, but it's very challenging. In 3 and 2 and 1. Bring it down to light resistance. Again, quickly check with your out of breathness. I'm at 8. Take some time right now. Just grab some water. Keep your legs moving, but at light resistance. Feel free to sit up like I am. This song reminds me of a video I saw last night where Stevie Wonder was having a concert and he's playing Superstition on his keyboard at the start of it. And someone came up and whispered something in his ear. And he went, and a couple minutes later, Prince walks on stage. Leans down and says, "Hey Stevie, it's me." And Stevie says, "Yeah." And Prince reaches over him and starts playing the keyboard with his left hand. And Stevie stepped off the seat and stood up and was dancing, and Prince is playing the keyboards. Two geniuses. I love those two. All right, come back to your handlebars. 90 RPM. They're so touching. I don't know why. Oh, I guess I do know why. I think they're both very nice men. So we're at 90 RPM. Let's dial in resistance. It feels like we're moving along a flat road pretty well. And then someone came and handed Prince his guitar. He stood up, Stevie sat back down, Prince plugs in, starts playing rhythm guitar for Stevie Wonder, and they do the song Superstition. So right now, flat road feeling. The resistance is such, and the RPM is about 90, that we feel like we could hold this for a little while, but it's work. You know, more than 5 or 10 minutes we could hold this. But it's work. Notice how your legs are feeling right now. There might have been some discomfort at the beginning of this little flat road section. I want you to notice that that transforms a little bit as we stay with the effort. As we stay here, notice what's happening to your breathing now. Also, notice if your shoulders are starting to come up or your hands are starting to grip the handlebars too hard. If so, shake an arm out like this, or like this. notice that this song, music playlist is actually weird today. This song is repeating itself. But before I change it, let's take this resistance up to 100 RPM. Very important to keep your hips stable now. Breathe from a relaxed belly. Slow your legs down. Bring your resistance down to light and keep the legs turning. As you drink your water and pedal slowly, I'm going to change the song. You can tell, you can hear my breathing, yeah? Quite out of breath. That was good. Sweaty fingers are hard to move on a mouse. Let's get ready. I want us to do an extended flat road section. And we're going to characterize it on a scale of perceived exertion as about an 8. Not a sprint. Sprint would be 10. Not casually cruising down the road. That's 1. What we were just doing was moderate, 4 or 5. What I want is the same kind of pedal speed, but with an exertion level of about 8. We're just going to settle into it for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that. All right? This will be great. We can put everything we know now to work. Our body awareness, our feeling around the full circle of the pedal stroke, the relaxation of the upper body, the lightness of the hands. Let's come to the handlebars. Let's get our legs up to 90 RPM. It can be plus or minus a few, it's okay. Everyone has a natural cadence, an 85 to 94, 92 range for flat road. So you find that's which is comfortable for you. In 3, in 2, 1. I've aligned my legs with the rhythm, so it's probably about 94. Maybe a little bit higher. This is hard for me. So I'm starting to feel challenged by this in a way that's causing stress to come into my body. So I'm noticing that. I'm actively working to relax my hands, my back, and my shoulders. In 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. Dial it back down. And slow your legs. That's definitely an 8 exertion for me. I'm having a hard time speaking, so my breathing's at 8 or 9. Right now it's active recovery, light resistance. You want to try it again? Let's do it. Let's try it again. Doesn't have to be the same resistance. It might be less actually to get you to that perceived level of 8 in your exertion. Feeling is what's important. The amount of resistance will vary day to day at this pedal speed to achieve that level of exertion. It's just the way it works. Bodies are more tired than they were just before. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Stay here. My main thought for my own legs right now is stitch it together. Pull through, unweight the opposite leg as you're coming up using your hip flexors. Engage the hips through the heels over the top. I can feel sweat starting to drip down my forehead. And 3, and 2, and 1. Slow your legs down again and reduce your resistance. Sorry if you can hear my breathing. I know it's heavy. When you're ready, you can return to your handlebars. And with your light resistance, just come up to a nice flat road cadence. Very light resistance. And as we've talked about before, I want us to pedal through that heaviness in the legs right now. As we say out in road cycling, just spin it out a little bit. Our only goal right now is to just notice the legs. Notice the feeling. Pay attention to how smooth we're making the pedal stroke. That's our only goal right now. If you pay very close attention, you will feel the change in the muscles of the legs. By the way, you'll notice your breath is slowing too. Your heart rate is coming down. Even though we have light resistance on right now, and our heart rate is recovering probably, should be. What we're doing now is paying attention to the movement and the muscles and the body and the bones. We're trying our best to be attentive to that. By feeling our way around the circle and trying to notice the muscles engaging at different points. And that is really useful. Important work. I notice now my legs are much more supple than they were at the start of class. So let's just stay here a few more seconds, checking in with our posture and noticing those muscles and how they feel. I'm also noticing sweat now dripping off my forehead. Slow your legs way down to this rhythm. Sit up tall. Let the arms hang by the side for a second. All right, back to our handlebars. You ready for a couple of sprints? Each one will be about 15 seconds. Let's go over our definition of sprint. It is fast cadence around 100 to 110 with resistance so heavy that you couldn't hold the effort for 45 seconds or 50 seconds. It's a feeling. A sprint is a feeling. We'll hold each one for 15 seconds or so. It will be enough to get us out of breath. Check your body posture. Quick scan from the neck down through the spine. Just move down each vertebrae at a time, down to your hip bones settled in the saddle. Maybe take a couple of deep breaths from your belly. Opposite side of the lower spine, right here. First sprint in 3 and 2 and 1. Accelerate the legs to 100 or so. Get heavy resistance on. And slow your legs way down. Bring your resistance way down. Breathe deeply. Go. So let's get into position now. Again, quick body scan. Start with your neck down to the hip bones, and this time include your shoulders. And envision them connected to the spine, and then their hips connected to the spine, and all of that is relaxed. In 3, 2, 1. Accelerate into a sprint. Keep your hips nice and steady and breathe through it. legs down. And notice where your breathing is now. Pedaling slowly. You can drink water now. One more hard effort before we're done for the day. Can you let your legs find this rhythm? Just one more hard effort. Add resistance now. So this feels like a gradual incline, not a climb. Gradual incline, enough to challenge the muscles a little bit, but you're not struggling to hold the rhythm. Take a deep breath. Feel at one with the music. I give you the signal. We're going to visualize shifting gears on our bike and then accelerating our legs to stand into that harder gear. That's what we call an acceleration out of the saddle. You can visualize finding a much harder gear and then standing out to it and accelerating your legs. That will accelerate your bike a lot. So that's what we're going to do. Be a very short effort, so give yourself the chance to feel that power. In 3, 2, 1. Add the resistance, accelerate your bike by adding gear and standing and accelerating the pedal stroke. And come back down to light resistance. Hi. Time for recovery. You know I always sit up like this in recovery. Pedal slowly, easily. Just noticing what's happening to my breathing. I'm just noticing how my legs are starting to recover from that. And just allow your heart rate to slow, allow your breathing to come back to normal. Keep your pedal stroke very slow, keep your resistance very light. breath is slowing, your heart rate's coming down. It's important to pay attention to that. This may be the world's worst Revo-cycle playlist ever. Okay. We're just slowing down. Slowing down. Notice where your breathing is on that scale now. 1 to 10 scale. Let's let our legs gradually come to a stop. And we can sit here and tune into how we feel. Remember, we're really tired, exhausted. I feel much more embodied right now. I feel much more present. This is officially the worst Revo-cycle playlist ever. Let's go ahead and stand up and drop our heels at 3 and 9 o'clock. I'm running out of royalty-free music to use. There's only so much. It's not like people are cranking it out for fun because it's royalty free. They don't get paid for it. I have some options. I may activate. There are several companies that create for pay royalty free music. And it's a subscription service like Spotify or Tidal. Let me go to that. I've listened to some of the music. It's good. It sounds good. It sounds beautiful. So we may have to go to that. I don't know if you noticed, but I switched feet. All right, swing a leg out over the bike. Let's pull back on our ankle to feel a stretch in the quadriceps. Switch to the other leg, pull back, feel the stretch in the quads. Peaceful. Stretching our hamstrings on the top part of the bike or the handlebar or the saddle, it's up to you. Was an excellent feeling ride to me. I hope you feel good. I hope you feel more embodied, more integrated. Less stress. You're probably still tired, but I feel so much better. Thank you for joining me. I'll leave the music going for a couple minutes. Keep stretching, drink your water, and we'll see you next time. love you here. Take care, and we'll see you next time.